You know, that saying, eventually everything comes out, doesn't it? You know, you can hide secrets away for as long as you want. And then eventually something slips out and you realise, well, that was the true reasoning behind this whole event. It's the sort of thing, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, when you've been invited to something and you think, why have I been invited here? And suddenly you go along and you realise, oh, okay, I realise I know this person or that person and there's a connection. And suddenly it's very useful to them, not necessarily to you. The same might be said of a recent event which caused worldwide headlines simply because first they were friends, then they were deleted, then they were friends, then they were not. Everybody plays games in the land of Hollywood, including, of course, some of the latest who do it very well, none other than the Kardashians. They've made a career out of spinning stories out of nothing, you know. I mean, recently we had Kim Kardashian online crying because apparently the exams that she's taking to become a lawyer are so hard. Well, why do you need to post yourself crying? Because everything has to be put out there. They have to let the world know that even though they are billionaires and rich beyond their wildest dreams, their struggles are your struggles. You should be invested in them. Hence the reason, when you think about it, that, well, it all worked perfectly well, didn't it, for Prince Harry to appear leeringly at Kim Kardashian's party alongside her mother, Kris Jenner, who famously turned 70, right? And that picture will haunt Harry, some might say, for years, not more so than his wife, the former cable TV actress Meghan Markle. But here's where it gets really delicious in its twist. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining me today, chums. Thank you as ever. It's a little chilly, so I thought I'd just double wave to warm you up. Are you warmed up? Have you had your whiskey, as I told you? Absolutely. There's nothing like it. Certainly keeps you certainly keeps you going in the darkest moments, doesn't it, of depth of winter. I don't know. I've just found out that good singers and everything like that, a drop of port, a bit of whiskey clears the airwaves. That's all you need. Well, not the bottle, obviously, just sitting there clutching the bottle, you know. No, just a little sip, you know, maybe a teaspoonful or a sort of soup spoon. That would be enough, but it certainly does work. I think you're going to need more than strong whiskey to clear the air between Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. You know, I do feel sorry for him at times because henpecked is the word, right? Truly, truly henpecked. And the bottom line is you can see that Harry really has almost given up. I mean, the footage, the delicious footage of him and her on that Super Bowl thing, where she's filming him, he couldn't look more bored. I mean, I did think, good for you. Finally, you're showing your true colours, you know. He doesn't have to pretend, does he? He's not on the world stage. He's sat in his comfy chair with his comfy pants on, thinking, oh, stuff off, you know, I'm fed up now. And that really was what the message transcended out, didn't it? Everybody knows what's truly going on inside the marriage. Apparently, Meghan was also fizzing when he sat down recently with a podcaster. Do you remember the one where he had to try and do American accents? I mean, what was that about? Absolute waffle and kerfuffle of nothing, wasn't it, you know? But apparently what upset Meghan was that, you know, he used the phrase currently about his home in America. I've told you before, they are blatantly arguing about the education of Harry's son Archie because, you know, he wants this British education for his son. He didn't have a great time, but he knows it's helped him, you know, enormously. But, you know, Meghan doesn't want that. The other thing she hated in the podcast was the I just love this stuff, don't you? Where he said he had no plans to become an American citizen. How dumb do you have to be? If he does that, everything goes. The titles are gone, everything. I mean, it's just, there you go. That's it. So Harry doesn't want to do that, but again, has to spell it out to his wife, who's too busy, you know, just in stirring pots of jam in that rented kitchen. It's farcical, the stuff. But here's the thing that really made me laugh that came out, because as you know, Meghan's returned back to the world of acting, playing herself, right? I mean, can you imagine looking in the mirror? Which version of me am I today, you know? Am I the one that didn't scratch the surface? Am I the one that, oh, you know, I didn't enjoy my wedding? Or am I, you know, diva boss making pots of jam? She can't decide, and that you know, there lies your problem. What was interesting, though, is, as you know, Meghan pops up, as I say, playing herself in a movie. But Prince Harry had an opportunity as well. You see, I knew this was going to happen. The Kardashians are very, very savvy operators, right? And the idea really is they often like stretch out to see where they could go and who they could clutch in next. You know, they're very keen to make sure they get with the right people. Remember, Kim Kardashian was desperate to get involved in the coronation. She came over here, planted herself in a 5-star hotel and waited for the call, which never came. So you get it, right? But where this is interesting is her TV show, All's Fair, the drama legal thing, right? As I've said, quite passable to me, quite a lot of fun. Nothing wrong with that. Well, according to a source, Harry was offered a cameo in that. A fleeting cameo, very similar to a sort of idea of the vein of what he did, you know, with the jelly roll thing and the fake tattoo in the tattoo parlour for Invictus. Apparently they were inspired by his acting skills and figured that this could be quite good, right? Again, I have to say, allegedly. And the idea really was he would just be at a passing party sort of scenario where, you know, he might just nod or say hello, etc. But just to have a royal in the ensemble, right? You get it? Well, apparently whatever happened didn't happen because there's only one actress in that family. So consequently, Harry's role is, shall we just put on the back burner, but could be revitalised at any point soon. And apparently Harry's not too averse to this, likes the Kardashians, thinks they're a lot of fun, enjoyed himself quite a lot actually at the party, and doesn't really understand why it wouldn't be too bad for him to appear in something like that. Remember, he's read stories on things like Jack and Ori, so he's used to the camera, and he liked the response of the tattoo thing with Jelly Roll. The only person that didn't like it, well, you figured that out, right? Neil Sean, Kensington, London.